G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, back with my top 25 metal albums of 2025. This episode of Explosive Action is brought to you by Black Sound Records. Black Sound Records is a record store located in Melbourne, Australia, specialising in underground metal, punk, noise, experimental and everything in between. Black Sound offers fast and free delivery options across Australia, New Zealand and the world. Explosive Action viewers can get 5% off their first order using the code EXPLOSIVE05 at checkout. I say this every year, but it was a pretty damn strong year. People that think there were no good albums released this year, I urge you, listen to more than just the New Testament, the new Dark Angel. There's plenty of good things out there in the underground. And speaking of that, if you're new to this channel, I pretty much listen to death metal, black metal, grind, that kind of stuff. Occasionally dipping my toes into sort of older 80s thrash, but not so big on modern metal, modern heavy metal, modern speed metal, that kind of stuff. Power metal. If you're after that kind of material, you're not going to find it in these lists. It is pretty much death metal, black metal, grindcore. And without any further delaying for time, we're going to kick straight off at number 25 with Eternal Darkness and Eternal Darkness. Surprising everybody, I think, this 1990 era Swedish death doom band Eternal Darkness came back in 2025 to release their one and only full-length album, the self-titled Eternal Darkness. This sounds like a relic from 30 years ago, clawing its way out of a cobweb-filled coffin, but returning to the earth just as quickly. Like Moondark, Eternal Darkness is a crushing reminder of days gone past. Highly recommended. And at number 24, the charmingly titled Pissgrave with Malignant Worthlessness. Philadelphia's Pissgrave once again release an uncompromising slab of bestial horrors, yet somehow managed to find some nuance compared to the 2019 posthumous Humiliation album. Those processed Donald Duck vocals are a hallmark of the band's style, and it's a relentless attack that mixes the most chaotic elements of Portal and Revenge with Disgorge from Mexico, the absolute finest in nihilism. And at number 23, Mortual with Altar of Brutality. You know when an album opens with rototoms that it's going to be a really good album, and this is no different. Costa Rican death metal band featuring members of Necroferum and Perishing. Mortual take that Floridian death metal template, add some Central American aggression to the mix, and makes for one very brutal yet still old school sounding album that has many thrash riffs as it does grinding blast beats. So definitely check out Mortual. At number 22, we have Collier de Hombre with Autumnal Fortress. After many demos and collaborations with Svartadathus and Alex Poole, among others, Collier de Hombre has released his first full-length on this 2-LP set. It's raging, raw US black metal with layers of melodies and keys, snarled vocals invoking the earliest of Emperor, and snow-covered soundscapes of Paysage de Verre. This debut is highly recommended, so definitely check this one out. And at 21, we have more black metal with Tornekrans, Silent Whispers, Echo from Forbidden Realms, Torkus from the band Chaos Aura, who I've spoken about numerous times throughout the year, with his new solo project that absolutely delivers on raging melodic raw black metal that holds its own against bands such as Gauntlet Ring and Hjemsökt. Sharp tremolo riffs cut through the lo-fi production like a blade. This is a really addictive listen if you like raw black metal. And at number 20, we have Caustic Phlegm with Purulent Apocalypse. If Sweden's grave were embodied with the spirit of drum machine pathological gore grind, they might have ended up sounding a little bit like Scotland's Caustic Phlegm. Absolutely putrid, snare pinging, vocal burbling death grind from the one man behind Chest Crush. This solo project brings as much groove and swagger as it does upset stomachs. So, yeah. Blech. And at number 19, we have Kveldstimer with The Cursed Oak. From Alex Poole, the prolific artist behind Ringare, Chaos Moon, Secrets, and the magnificent Haxanu Band comes Kveldsteimer, with also Lewis from Haxanu on drums and Collier de Ombre on vocals. Kveldsteimer is an icy cold black metal attack that is rich in synth that shows echoes of both Iljan but also early Bluetooth Nord. It sounds like the cover. It is frostbitten and really, really worth your time. At number 18, we have Stangargel with Za Striborno Horo. Hopefully, I'm getting somewhere close with that name. But this is a lush and quite stunning pagan black metal project from Slovakia, sharing guitars with Malakapitan. This is quite a different animal to that band, though. Very organic riffs, evoking a much more triumphant side of, say, Graveland or Nocturnal Mortem, as well as the medieval approach of early Satyricon, whilst the sporadic use of keyboards just touching the sides of epic Tolkien band Summoning. Such a good release here from Stangargel. Check this one out. And at number 17, with the gorgeous Bruce Pennington artwork here, is Astral Gauze, A Fire as Alien as Hostile. I haven't even had the time to show this one on the channel yet. This is a sullen yet superb new project from Simon of Ebony Pendant and Griefspell and Krieger from Iron Firmament, masterfully combining the rawness of old Dark Throne with melancholy of the Shining band from Norway and the adventurousness of Psy from Japan, particularly their Scorn Defeat album. Kektarak fans will also find a lot to enjoy with this one, and I really think you should be those swapping your roses for starships. So check out Astral Gauze here, as Fire, as Alien, as Hostile. Such a good release. At number 16, we have a fun one with Plasmodulated, and they're wonderfully entitled An Ocean of Putrid, Stinky, Vile, Disgusting Hell. This is twisted sci-fi horror death metal that mixes the sinister, palm-muted groove of Fulci with the progressive leads and mind-altering rhythms of Blood Incantation. Hook-laden riffs that really burrow into your brain like a parasite looking for a host. This is such a fun album I've been playing over and over and over. I tried to get it higher in the list, but 16 is where it goes. Plasmodulated. Check it out. At number 15, we have Metaphobic with Deranged Excruciations, one of the best meat and potatoes metal debuts that I've heard in quite some time. Metaphobic write incredibly tasty riffs and memorable songs. With members of Malformity and Ectovoid amongst their ranks, this five-piece have delivered a real pit-dominating album that will appeal to fans of old-school death metal as well as to new. Absolutely worth your time if you've not checked this one out. At number 14, we have Rotterdam with Toverskirt and a bunch of other words I'm not going to try and say. But what I will say is that this thing absolutely eclipses their 2021 debut in every way. This Hungarian two-piece have delivered a truly massive album here. Riffs that sound like Crips and Mortiferum had a 20-pound baby together, and drums that could knock down the hospital that it was born in. If you want weight in your Death Doom, but you still want that chaotic swarm of tremolo riffs, Rotterdam is the band for you. An amazing cover as well. Check this one out. At number 13 is Ancient Death with Ego Dissolution. This has been topping a lot of lists, and for very good reason. Ancient Death from Massachusetts have crafted an energetic yet thoughtful album that swings from bolt thrower to blood incantation with absolute ease. The intricacies of the chasm, the Swedish sound of Gorment, the weirdness of Time Ghoul, melding superbly. Ancient Death is the logical continuation of Garroted, who never made it past their two demos. But this thing from Ancient Death, Ego Dissolution, is just superb. It kind of hurt to put it at 13, but that's only because there's 12 bangers in front of it. At number 12, we have Scar, or is it Scare, with E. Tackenheimen's Jupp. Outstanding riffs and melodies here, as we've come to expect from any project that involves OWGA from Old Ridge. Similar to that project, but more atmospheric and connected to nature, supplemented with just gorgeous acoustic passages, cleanly sung Viking-esque vocals, and some of the tightest, most lightning-fast drumming in black metal today. Absolutely check out this project here from Scar. And at number 11, just outside the top 10, is Ossuary with Abhorrent Worship. After two demos, Wisconsin's Ossuary released their first full-length. It crushes all poses in its path. monstrously heavy with the weight of 10 elephants meandering behind it, mixing the filth of Depagus with the deathly doom of spectral voice. Abhorrent Worship is a hefty and ugly album. It has been getting so many spins in this household. Oh, it hurt to leave it out of the 10, but you'll see why in a moment. Before we get into the top 10, let's talk about some EPs and mini albums. In no particular order, I want to call out Cancer Void with first Metastasis. This is a new 5-piece from Prague. They deliver a solid 6 tracks of filthy, horrible sci-fi death metal. The cover tells you pretty much everything that you need to know about these 20 metastasizing minutes of tunes. Really worth your time. We have the absolutely stonking new release here from Hellstorm Apocalypse. This is a new entity from South Australia featuring members of the classic band Dark Lord. That should be enough to tell you how strong this self-titled EP is. It's blackened death metal with wild solos, barbaric blasts, more than a nod to the symphonic late 90s Norwegian scene. I cannot wait for a full length from these guys. You've got to check this out. One from earlier in the year that I really, really loved. This is Moonfall with Odes to the Ritual Hills. Very creaky and ancient sounding black doom, melding the sounds of old Barathrum and newer Perverted Ceremony very, very well. Odes to the Ritual Hills is the sound of cobweb-filled coffin slowly opening, just creaking its way opening, and something coming out, probably that demon. And the last one is Nightwalker with the Eternal Flame of Death. One-man occult black metal from Germany in the strongest traditions of the early second wave Scandinavian scene. Cutthroat riffs and candelabras. Let Nightwalker show you the true secrets of the black arts. 3 tracks of just magnificent black metal. Into the top 10 now, and we kick it off strong with Phrenolith Ashen Womb, one of the earliest releases of 2025, my first review for the Heavy Metallurgy of this year. This is death metal from Denmark with current and former members of Chaosium, Hyperdontia, Sulfurus, and Undergang. What a lineage there. And Phrenolith are well at home with those bands and with Die Acquisitor. That scene out of Denmark is just superb. But as I said in my review, this is a dark and twisted album. Only on their 3rd full-length release, and each album has been getting better and better. This one tops Chimera for me, their previous album. Huge sounding, swirling riffs, often evil like Lucifer, and just dominating like Incantation. This album is as thick as molasses, and just the fire embers that come out of this volcano. Ashen Womb from Phrenolith at number 10. At number 9, we have Titan Blood from the Visceral Abyss. This new album from Titan Blood is pushing close to being their best, going head-to-head with 7 Chalices for me, which is saying quite a lot. This formula hasn't changed too much, but it has been tweaked. There's more tom rolls, more changes of pace from just the pure fury of previous albums. It is still pure destruction, and the title track is borderline unhinged, but like last year's Witch Vomit release, or even the last Imprecation, there's a sense of development and a little bit more room to breathe in here. The riffs are more refined, and it's just a bit more spacious and a little bit better produced, it's got to be said. It's punchier, you can really hear those wailing dive bombs, but it's also a very drums-focused album, which is something that always speaks to me, rather than just rhythm guitar. I think existing fans of Titan Blood will enjoy From the Visceral Abyss, but you also might pick up some new fans because of the increased dynamics on this album. Number 9, Titan Blood from the Visceral Abyss. At number 8 is Species with Changelings. This is a completely new band for me, and I would suggest probably for a lot of people. I saw this very intriguing album cover and just thought this is going to be either technical or progressive death or thrash metal, and I was on the money. This is a Polish band, and this is their second album. I've never heard their first one, but They're definitely going for a kind of coroner and toxic kind of technical thrash here, but those progressive leanings of Target, Oblivion, and Voivod for sure. But also not forgetting the deathier styles of Symbolic Era Death and a lot of Cynic Focus. Some of the leads here and picking styles are definitely from Focus, but the whole thing is gently awashed as well in just a little mid 90s Gothenburg melodic death metal. Even a few blast beats are chucked in here. So it's a very creative and energetic album, vocally shrill and shouty. Has a lot in common with Anders from In Flames and sort of the Horacle era. The instrumentation is top of the class. The band know how to establish a core of a song, add hooks, but it still takes the listener on adventures. It is progressive and technical after all. The last track on side A, Voyager, is an instrumental that is very ambitious and introduces some Bloody Incantation style synth. This was an immediate hit to me and my eardrums, but I think it's also an album that's just going to keep revealing more and more as I listen to it. I walked into the shop to buy the new Void Ceremony, and I came out with this thing, and it's barely been off the turntable. So, number 8, Species Changelings. At number 7 is Putridity with Morbid Ataraxia. My unexpected new favorite brutal band of the year here. This is the Italian brutal death metal band Putridity. Completely new to me, but this is their fourth full length, and it is completely insane. It is completely insane and batshit heavy, just absolutely crushing. They're on the label Willowtip, which, if you know the label, that's enough of a descriptor to tell you what's going on here. Defeated Sanity mixed with Newer Malignancy is kind of the template. Newer Brodequin as well, but this is a speed drummer's wet dream, syncopated with the riffs. If you just like drum focused extremity, then look no further than this Putridity album. It's a very compressed and modern sound, but that actually works in its favor. To hit those speeds cleanly, it needs precision in its production. Morbid Ataraxia is a jackhammer to the skull for barely half an hour. The last track on here is a cover from an old brutal death band called Enmity. They were from the early 2000s, but honestly, Putridity are just superior. Complex riffs and change-ups, still destroying the spinal cord. A rare album for me that actually sounds better on headphones than it does on speakers. But either way, check out number 7, Putridity, Morbid Ataraxia. And at number 6, we have Mephitic Corpse with Sickness Attracts Sickness. This is the debut full-length from this Californian three-piece. Following their 2019 demo, I actually kind of forgot about this band. If Mortician had a real drummer and played gore grind, it would probably sound like Mephitic Corpse. The guitars are stupidly down-tuned to drop Z or something. The monotone, unintelligible vocals, just outstanding. The groove and the swagger that this thing has is unparalleled. Combined with the thick sound and the snappy snare, this takes me back to the late 90s of Deaden, the first Skinless album, and of course, lots of Immortal Fate, a band that's actually referenced a bit in this album. When you hear it, you'll know. The best track is Side A Closer, the brilliantly titled Intrusive Thoughts Lead to Impatient Butchering. What a name. Such a crushing, palm-muted groove with plenty of squeals. This is as dumb as a bag of hammers, but I could give a shit. It's a lot of fun. Number 6, Mephitic Corpse, Sickness Attracts Sickness. Into the top 5, and at number 5 we have 11th Ray with Reviving Tehom. This is the debut from Greece's 11th Ray. It's been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of spins here. Although they're on Dark Descent Records, this definitely feels like more of an Invictus Records band to me. It's that mix of dusty death metal, black metal, old speed metal, old heavy metal. It just does sound kind of dusty and forgotten. It's somewhere between early Varathron and Morbid Tales era Celtic Frost. There's one review on Metal Archives that just entitles this as Hellenic Frost, and I think that's a great way of looking at it. Some of the latter Dark Throne, black heavy metal albums, but I also pick up a little bit of sort of Middle Eastern influence at times. I think all that together is really what you get here with 11th Ray. Vocally, it has a kind of shouted vocal style, a bit like Power Trip, which was kind of surprising. But this is just all about good riffs and great songs. It's all distinctive and memorable. It's a song based album, it's not just a collection of riffs. And as I said, it feels more like an Invictus Productions band. So if you think something like Negative Plane, Reversed, Hasturian Vigil, bands like that on that label, 11th Ray sits quite happily amongst them. I think you're going to be safe with this. It sounds like it came out of a coffin filled with bullet belts and leather jackets and black mascara. It's an addictive listen. It's been, as I said, frequently on the turntable. I know Alan at Let's Talk Metal and the Heavy Metallurgy also really enjoyed this one. So
music fucking rips, dude. It bangs. It slaps.
Yeah, huge recommendation for me. Number 5, 11th Ray, Reviving to Helm.
Look in the future. Look in the past. Eternity. Vessels.
Number 4 is Castrator with Coronation of the Grotesque. I'll admit that I didn't give this band much of a chance with their Defiled in Oblivion album from 2022, which was clearly wrong of me. They are a Dark Descent band after all. This is the sophomore release from these ladies, Coronation of the Grotesque. It is absolute old school death metal fire. Straight up diabolical summoning era sinister style with deicide legion, added evilness, monstrosity in dark purity's tightness, and the band is out of New York and is just riffs for days. Like I said, it is like 200% better than their first album. Everything that you like about just meat potatoes death metal is here. That New York palm muted chugs from Suffocation, later era Cannibal Corpse, chopping and changing riffs, very fast and tasteful solos, snappy drums with a lot of double bass work and tight blasting. For something so straightforward, I am surprised at how much I've been absolutely thrashing this thing. It is just down to the hooks and the riffs and the songs. And I love the cover. I mean, the cover looks like late 90s brutal death metal, and the logo with its embossed Photoshop thing going on here. It's just amazing. It's the whole package. You've got to check this one out. Castrator, Coronation of the Grotesque, easily at number 4. At number 3, we have Pestilential Shadows with Wretch, the 8th full-length from this South Sydney black metal horde, founded by Balaam in 2003, quite possibly their best album yet. Their last album, Devil's Hammer, saw the band signed to Northern Silence, which seemed to give them more international exposure. It also added the fantastic Kurvner on second guitar. He stepped away to focus on his own solo projects, and we have now Drekovac on second guitar, and she is a magnificent shredder. Take a listen to the lead single from this one, Death Knell, and the video clip that comes along with it. The opening riff is just sublime. It is like totally reminded me of Dawn Slaughter Sun. It's just Australian black metal vigor and raw emotion. The band have really focused on atmosphere this time around and built a vibrant, multi-layered black metal hell. It's got a great album cover here from Greylick Art to seal the deal. They're a superb live act. I saw them supporting Spectral Wound earlier this year, and they were absolutely killing it. Number 3, easily, Pestilential Shadows with Wretch. And staying in Australia for number 2, here we have Vile Apparition with Malignity. Wow, is all I can say about this one. Vile Apparition are a Melbourne-based band with members of Contaminated and Gutless in their ranks. Malignity is their sophomore full-length. Like Castrator, it's a monumental, and I mean a monumental, step forward in every aspect over their debut album. The songs are just better. They're more technical. The production is improved. It's mastered at Goat Sound by Jason PC of Bloodduster. All the instruments are clear and upfront, including the bass. The lead guitars are just sublime. The fantastic artwork here by Sutter Kane. Oh, the whole package is just death metal supremacy. We have Jamie on guitar and vocals and Ollie on drums. They've been consistent with the band from the start, but their playing has just improved significantly in the time since the first album. The new addition of Jordan on second guitar that has added in more technicality mixed in with the brutality, and it's just so good. They even keep it classy with some sort of finger picking Spanish guitar in one of the outros. There's even a cello that's darkly morbid in another piece. It's just so good. It's got everything you want in death metal. Vile Apparition will appeal to fans of, say, all eras. I mean, from demo through to their last album, Nucleus, Deeds of Flesh. Cryptopsy fans, particularly around Whisper Supremacy, but it's got plenty of that just palm muted kind of chugga chugga riffs as well. Plenty of beat downs and just death metal hammers. I knew that this would be good, but I am just astounded at how much better it is than anything they've done before. And it is a solid number 2 on my list here. Just amazing. Vile Apparition, Malignancy. So before I reveal to you my number 1 album of 2025, we've got to go through some honourable mentions in alphabetical order. And this is by no means exhaustive. It's just really like this is so close to being 26, 27, 28, but you've got to draw a line somewhere. I'll start off with Anoxia and Revel in Sin, their first full-length Sydney death metal band. Great meat and potato stuff. Clairvoyance with Chasm of Immurement. Again, it's just straight up death metal and it's done really well. Corpus Awful with their self-titled, the follow-up from the Cerebral Rot guys. Just filthy and nasty. It speaks to me, but didn't quite make the 25. Decrepacy with Deific Mourning. For me, this was just not quite as good as the first album, but it is still really solid death metal. So you got to check that one out. Decryptal with Simulacre, I think is how you say it. Also really impressive, but just more death metal than I could cram into 25 numbers. Something has to slip down. Next up is Diabolizer with Murderous Revelations. Surprised I couldn't get this in the 25. It's really, really good. It's got members of Engulfed in it. It is just fire and brimstone fury, but it didn't make the cut. Definitely worth checking out, as is the new Drawn and Quartered, Lord of Two Horns. This band just keep giving. Every album is great. It's just exactly what you expect from them. This one is particularly good, though, so check it out. Effroy with Eerie Passage, just quality black metal, very organic sounding. Hugely impressed with this one. Filth with Time to Rot. I mean, the band's called Filth. The album's got rot in it. That cover, it's ugly stuff. Could have made the 25 if I was kicking things around a bit, but it wasn't going to happen. Grave Infestation with Carnage Gathers. Great follow-up to the previous album, but just didn't make it in. Hebephrenique with Decathexis, I think is how you say it, another Australian band. Very progressive, very weird. Need more time with this one to really comprehend it, but it's strong, and I think it's going to be one of those ones I'm going to really enjoy over the years. Innumerable Forms with Pain Effulgence. For whatever reason, this one hasn't been sticking with me like the previous album. I just need to work at it some more. The riffs aren't sticking in my brain, but that's more me than it is them. Impurity, The Eternal Sleep. This is just HM2 Swedish death metal. It sounds like what Entomb could have done after Left Hand Path. It's great. It does exactly what it says on the tin. You should check it out. Chaos Aura with their first full-length Thornbringer. I mentioned Tornekrans, the side project band, but yeah, Chaos Aura is nearly as good as that. All of their demos combined just made up this fantastic first release. So definitely check it out if you like raw black metal. LVTHN, which I'm assuming is Leviathan, The Devil's Bridge. I got this one quite late, and I do need to spend more time with it, but this is one of those classic Amalfati kind of black metal bands that have just, it's got a wash with things that you'd find in an I Void Hanger release. Yeah, it's just complex and grand black metal, so need more time with that. as also I do, surprisingly, with Malformed and Confinement of Flesh. I know this has made a lot of top 10s, but for some reason I just haven't been returning to it, and I don't really know why. I need to really get myself back in the mood to check this one out, because I loved the EP and the demo that came before it. There's nothing here that says I'm not going to love this one. It just, there's been so many other things I've been spinning, so that one's on me as well. Morbific, Bloom of the Abnormal Flesh. This band keep chasing the goods of their first album. I think the second album was great, but it had the production issues you had to work out. This third one fixes those issues, but I don't know. It's again, it's not quite just sticking with me. It's good. It's quality. It's death metal, but it's just not quite speaking to me yet. Need more time. Osgraef with Reveries of the Arcane Eye, one of the million Alex Poole projects that came out this year. This one's sort of a tiny little bit industrial, but a lot more death metal thrown into the black metal mix. Very dark and cold sounding, worth checking out. And as I mentioned earlier, Void Ceremony with Abditum. It's great. These guys get better and better, but when I got it the same day as The Species, it's been very hard to get that one out of the turntable and putting the Void Ceremony on. So I need to do more of that. There's also a few albums that you'd think I would have included, but they just missed out because I haven't got the physical copies yet, and I'm all about physical media. I don't own it. I'm not waving my phone at the camera for you because, well, for starters, the camera is the phone, so I can't really do that. But either way, I'm not going to be talking about Gjendod with Svekels, which is a shame. I loved their last one. This is a Norwegian band. Marty of Heavy Metallurgy reviewed it, gave it a glowing write-up. He also put it in his top 10. And the band just gets better and better. Last year's Liv Scrumper did make my top 10, I think. So it's a shame I didn't get this one in time to give it proper spins. But my copy is in the post. Same as Malakim or Malachim with In Our Heart, The Devils Sings. This is the second album from this Swedish black metal band. Their last album was great. I just got their first two demos on LP. I haven't even had the chance to spin those yet. But this Malachim is in the same order as the Gjendod, and it's not here, so I can't include it. Cruentation with Damned Fallen Angels. Another new band to me, this. Very barbaric black death metal in the vein of, say, Profanatica. Has members of Witch Tomb and Cemetery Lights. I love Cemetery Lights. I don't know what's happened to them. But this is very much Sonic Devastation in that early 90s USBM style. Quality stuff in the post. Putrescent with Darkness Embraced. It's almost hilarious that I've tried to order this thing 3 times now. The first 2 times it got cancelled. But finally, I think the third one will stick. I had to go through Amazon in the end. I don't know what it is with Rutted Life. I find their stuff challenging to get. But it is just killer old school death metal with a fantastic cover. So, yeah, finally on its way to me now, I hope. Degraved, Spectral Realm of Ruin. The LP's been delayed. The CD's out, but waiting on the LP. This is a really good first full length. I've listened to the promo. But yeah, I've kind of been holding back listening to the promo too much because I really want to play the LP. Loved their demos. Their previous stuff has been great. So it's a shame it wasn't out just in time. And the hard to pronounce Creequar, I think. I've also seen it written up as Tricks Are for Kids, hopefully a joke, but The Womb of the World is their new release. This is a fantastic, dense, and dark release from these guys. It's just 2 lengthy tracks. It's kind of just shipping now, and this is more of a CD band for me, so I kind of just got to wait for that to show up, but I did listen to the promo of that a few times through, and wow, possibly their best. It's certainly up there with the EP from last year or the year before. So yeah, looking forward to giving that one more spins. And lastly, and this one I've not listened to a single note of, which I do intentionally with this band, that is Bluetooth with Ethereal Horizons. I never listen to the promos of this band. I just buy everything that they put out. It's all been good. Waiting for the CD. Once I do, it goes in the player, and I'm going to get wiped out with Darkness, I think. But couldn't make it. It's on the slow boat to Australia from Debima Morty, who put that out. So yeah, really looking forward to checking out that Bluetooth Nord. And we're at number 1 now, and it's not a huge surprise to most of you, I would think. And particularly if you've been paying attention to the shirt that I am wearing today, this is Jade with Mysteries of a Flowery Dream, my #1 album of 2025. This is an album I also reviewed on Heavy Metallurgy. At their simplest, Jade is an atmospheric death metal band with quite a bit of Bolzer influence, but that name is doing them a bit of a disservice these days. They've honed their craft so much and so quickly that they've got their own unique sound now. This is a more dynamic album compared to the previous one. Their last album also topped my #1 of that year. But there's more segues and additional flourishes and dark ambient soundscapes and all that great stuff. Spiritual sounding chanting. Yeah, I mean, it's atmospheric death metal after all. Huge, well developed songs with those standout S tier leads. It's just about the leads with this band. They just know how to make a lead, bring a grown man to tears. They're a hugely emotive band. They know how to drain every last emotion out of the listener, but in an uplifting kind of way. It is not an album you listen to in a DSBM light and feel depressed afterwards. You feel like you've been on a journey and been rewarded for it when you listen to Jade. It's complex, fully formed, atmospheric death metal. Their first album, the Pacification of Death, like I said, it topped my 2022 end of year list, so it is just no surprises to see Mysteries of a Flowery Dream top 2025. And there we have it. That's my top metal albums of 2025. Of course, this is just my list. It's just my opinions, and I couldn't have listened to everything that came out this year. And also, like I said at the start, my focus, if you don't know, if you should know by now, is more death metal, black metal, doom, and grind. It's less about modern thrash or old bands that are just coming back like Coroner and doing album number 27. I'm just not that keen in checking that stuff out. Retro heavy metal is also not much I check out there. I don't need another Judas Priest or whatever there might be. This is the stuff I'm more interested in, the underground of the death and the black metal scene. So I hope you found a few things in here that you hadn't otherwise heard this year. And most importantly, I really want to see your top 10s in the comments below. So please leave them down there. Be nice about my list and be nice about everyone else's list. It's just all a bit of fun. Every single title I mentioned today is quality. It doesn't matter if it's at number 25 or 1. It is all worth your time. So please do take a look at the list and the samples and check them out. As for this video, that's all this time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out this thing, check out this thing, like and subscribe. Have a good new year. See you next time.